Yeah, and so there's other things you can do as well. So let's assume you do the billboard style stuff and put your stuff on there. Make sure you get your dealer's approval on that. But you want to make it very simple. You want to have an opportunity for people to connect to you. You might decide to spend a little money. I don't know how much it is to geofence in every area, but one of the great ideas is to geofence. In other words, put a digital fence around the Department of Motor Vehicles. So anybody who's going to stand in line to get a new license plate or to sell their vehicle or whatever, every one of them gets an advertisement from you as soon as they drive in the parking lot of the Department of Motor Vehicles. You could do that with other things too, but there's all kind of targeted ways you can be impressionable in the marketplace very simply.
Yeah, yeah, and like for Carlos, what we've done is we have the billboards, we have the local paper, but the biggest deal for him has been radio, right? So he found that his tribe listens to radio a lot, and and you got to take it a step further, right? So let's say that you're advertising on the radio, and I'm not talking about just somebody saying, come see Carlos Huerta at Les Stanford. I'm talking about him actually being on the radio. It's been so good. He goes on, I think, every Wednesday, and it's been so good and so powerful for him that as soon as he goes on Wednesday, Thursday, people are just he's so busy because people are just coming in, and he just talks about everything, right? He talks about trade-ins, lease versus purchase. He talks about bringing your contract, we'll look it over from another manufacturer, service. So that's been pretty crazy. And now what we've been doing is we've been mentioning, a lot of his customers that buy cars. He mentions their name on radio, and he's like, "Yeah, yesterday we got superstar so and so bought a car from me, and this person that owns Los Calanas restaurants bought a new Silverado from me," and these people love hearing their name on the radio. So now they come in and talk to them, and they're like, "Are you going to say my name on the radio after I buy a car?" So it's crazy, but that's what's taken off, right? So they want to hear that. They want to hear their name out there. And so now every time he goes on there, he mentions who bought a car from him. And people are coming in just because of that. So it's trial and error, right? I mean, you gotta get your feet wet. You gotta get out there. If I never thought of putting them on the radio, none of this would have happened, right? And I've never been on the radio, mind you. It's not like I did it from experience. I just knew that, hey, we're going to try whatever we can try and see what happens. And it's been just phenomenal. So again, just try anything and let's see what happens. I mean, that 3-on-3 tournament was 20 years ago, and I'm still advertising with this place. I mean, imagine I told them no the first day. Who knows?
Yeah, and everything in your life is an advertisement, right? We talk about the Freddy's Pizza. I remember when Ali was doing the videos from Freddy's Pizza and he was doing it on Facebook. You should go in and then he had Carlos do it. Carlos was going into the local restaurants and he would go in, they would invite him back in the kitchen, and he was Facebook live and the FaceTime live and book live and the people in the kitchen. He was a celebrity all over. Even as old as I am, 38 years in the car business, I went back to Peking Gardens, and the lady's husband who owned the lady and the husband, they're in their 80s. She still knows me from when I went there in the 80s. And I'm telling you, Miss J just sat me down. Oh, my husband loved you. I'm telling you, you make an impact in somebody's business when you tell everybody in the city how much you love their business.
Yeah, Ernie
They'll
does it.
never forget you.